What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another edition of the Streamline Podcast. I'm your boy NarikChase, and in this video, I want to talk about open world Sonic the Hedgehog game. Now, I know there was a fan-made one in recent development called Sonic Utopia, and I ended up seeing some gameplay for it, and I will say that I was greatly impressed with what I saw. I like the controls of it. I like the open world because it does pay homage to the older video games, 1, 2, and 3, and I just love the overall feel for it. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog is one of my absolute favorite video game franchises, dating back to Sega Genesis days. It's great. Everybody knows who Sonic is. A super fast, a hedgehog that can run super fast. So, and he does battle with Dr. Robotnik, and then it goes on to Dr. Eggman, and then it just keeps just blowing up more and more and more. But I want to go ahead and say that some of the more recent games, the more 3D games, aren't good. I mean, some have decent. The Shadow the Hedgehog one I thought was actually a pretty decent game. Sonic Heroes I didn't have too much of a problem with. Everybody says the whole one where they were like skyboarding with the boards and stuff sucked. And I believe that one was the game where it was like the motion sensor thing, so that made it even worse. And it just basically, it seems like the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise has kind of gone downhill a little bit. But I don't think that the franchise itself sucks. I think there's just a lot that they have to try to do to adapt to, you know, a 2D platformer to a 3D platformer, and not all of them have been done well. Now, really the biggest example of this that was actually done exceptionally well, of course, is the Super Mario franchise, and now they're doing this thing where it's 2D and then it's 3D, and they can change it from 3D to 2D, and now with the new one that's coming out is another 3D world, and it's kind of funny because how well that the Mario franchise is able to adapt to that 3D world. And like I said, there have been some some Sonic games that was actually pretty decent, but these are just some ideas that I'm just going to throw out there that I believe would actually make for a good open world Sonic the Hedgehog video game. I think that it should be just strictly open world and possibly have sections that either can be accessed from one point or another, or can be accessed but shouldn't be at early difficulty, early on in the game. Two examples of this, and this is where I get a majority of my ideas from when it comes to this, is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as well as Final Fantasy 15. Both of them have extremely large maps, and even though there are some sections that are kind of cordoned off in Final Fantasy 15, they do open up, and even without those, the land is vast, so it's a lot to explore. But again, when it does open up, the land is even bigger. But I like to, in Breath of the Wild, there are areas that you can go into, but it's not necessarily a good idea if your level and your skill ain't high enough to do it because of the enemy types or maybe the environmental aspects that could work against you, such as like the cold or the heat. But then, like I said, in Final Fantasy 15, you can go anywhere you want, but there are some bosses and animals that are pretty high level, and if you're not high enough to fight them, you might want to stay away from that area. But I think that they should do that. Have an open world, combine all of these various stages that Sonic the Hedgehog has had throughout the years. Now, I'm not saying it has to be like super big, but I would like to have it well established. If they want to do the whole thing with the ramps and all of that, then fine, I could deal with that. The whole Sonic Utopia did a great job of illustrating the ramps and stuff and tracks and everything, which I thought was pretty good. One of my issues I saw with it was like a lot of land. It was a lot of open areas. It wasn't enough content to fill that. So like there wasn't a lot of bad guys when you were running around. Yeah, you saw some of them crabs, and you saw some of the other things, but it wasn't like a whole bunch of them. And when you're running, yes, a lot of space for you to run and explore, but that was kind of one of the problems. It was a lot of space. So it's like if you're gonna do that, either put more bad guys in it, put more, obstacles or little puzzles or something like that into it to help flesh out the world a bit more. But keep that big diverse. Have the cold area, the water area, have the little garbage sludge area. Just keep it diverse, and I wouldn't mind doing that. And I think it'd be actually pretty cool. Like if you can go from like a plain area that's like with plain, like grassy area, grassland area, and possibly go to a mountain area where maybe you get to run around the mountain or have little caverns within the mountain and stuff, or jump over valleys and stuff like that, and canyons, and like that would be a cool thing, and it would have its own unique area. So I think that'll be a great idea. I know one of the biggest things when it comes to science games like that is there's really not like an objective marker. Put one in the damn game. We need to know where the hell we're going. Put a mini map too, so we can see where the hell we're going on the mini map and know where to go. So it's like, come on now, we don't make it just open world to where you don't know where the hell you're going. This ain't life. There ain't no markers in life. You know what I mean? So if you're going to make an open world game like this, make it to where, okay, if I want to go to this spot, if I want to find this treasure, if I want to talk to this person, I want to fight this boss, let me pull up a map so I can see where I am on the map. Let me put the little marker there so I know where the hell they are. Show me the little mini map, and have the little marker on the mini map as well as on the screen so I can know where the hell I'm going. So they need to really do that too. Update this stuff. Update it. Now not gonna lie, I haven't really played any of the most recent Sonic games. I'm just going about the little things that I've heard and that I saw. Like I said, the most recent one I've actually played was Sonic Heroes. I think Sonic Heroes was about it. I was interested in playing Generations because you get the two Sonics on it, and it looked, the 3D world and the 2D world does look pretty cool. So that's another game I am interested in playing. But having said that, I was kind of going to go off of that too, that there should be some points in the game where it doesn't necessarily have to be fully 3D all the time. Maybe if you're doing like a race or something, maybe if you're doing one of those extensive tracks or something, want to just slide it over into 2D. So, you ain't got to too much worry about it. Me personally, I don't have to too much worry about trying to stay on the track and not flying off or something like that. But if you do keep it in a 3D, I think they should have like an auto track kind of a little bit with a little bit of the player's control. So that way you can kind of drift over a little bit without just flying straight off the edge. But the auto track will actually kind of keep you on track. You just kind of influence it to the left or right a little bit, but not enough to just like doing no crazy stuff like that. And I think that'll be pretty cool for like races, or if you're trying to get your speed up or to get the coins. Or if you're actually in like a race/combat style type thing, which would actually be pretty cool in the Sonic game, where you're actually running, racing with an enemy, and you're attacking them at the same time, and they're attacking you. So that'd be a pretty good, interesting idea. I just gave you something. Also, if you're going to make a Sonic game that's open world, fill it with NPCs. We need villages. We need a bunch of characters. We need side missions and main missions and little quests, like things like that. And if you do put the characters in there, let them be highly interactive. If you can't put voice performances in the game, which there's no reason you shouldn't at this point, but if you can't put no voice performances in this game, keep the dialogue sections wide open. Keep a lot of dialogue, make them NPCs worth talking to, whether it's gathering information, hearing the gossip, getting tips here and there, getting a little info on monsters and other characters. Even tips on how to like deal with certain level obstacles or something like that. Do yourselves a favor and just and put that stuff out there, you know what I mean? That's one thing I haven't really seen too much from a Sonic game, and it's mostly the fact that you don't see anybody actually talking to these characters. You don't ever see players get the chance to talk to these characters and interact with these characters. And when I say interact, I don't mean just talk. If they can provide you with hints on what treasures is, if you could potentially go on a mission with them, or they potentially help you, or you can call in support or something. That's what the hell I'm talking about. Do yourselves a favor, help us out. I don't mind, if the characters or whatever don't fully interact with something like that, but make them important. Just make them important. That's one thing I want to see. Haven't really seen an open world Sonic game where they did that. Where it was like, okay, it's just one long campaign. Don't want that. I want options. Of course, you can have the little races that they be having and all that. Also, if they're going to do that, have like a lot of unlockables too. Have it to where you can customize Sonic, have all these unlockable skins, new abilities, which I was going to branch into like the RPG, which it should be RPG elements, whether it's for combat, whether it's for environmental, how to like deal with the environment, whether it's for like, even with your speed and your attacks and stuff like that. Just like if you're running or whatever, have an option to where you can, like with your friction and your grip and stuff, so you don't slide as much, or you can stop faster. Or when you do your spin attack, you become faster with your spin attack, or running faster, or become fast enough, upgraded fast enough to where you can run across water. Those are like great ideas when it comes to RPG elements. Kick attacks, upgrade your kick attack, or your stomp attack, or your punch attack, or your spin attack, or being able to jump off walls and stuff. Like, there's a lot you can do with the RPG element of a Sonic the Hedgehog open world game. I am somewhat on the fence about if it be multiple characters, because it'd be open world. Sonic can run really fast, so travel that way wouldn't be a problem. But it's like, not all characters can run that fast. So if it's going to be an open world, should it be to where you can have multiple characters? Because if that's the case, then like, you got one character that can get across the map in like 10 seconds, and then the rest of them take like 5 minutes. So I'm not sure about having other characters to be playable. I wouldn't mind seeing it, and that would also add a lot to the replayability when it comes to like these characters having to, go alternate routes or something. Go how to find even different treasure. Like Tails can fly up to a ledge or something that Sonic can't get to. Knuckles can punch a hole in the wall and get to an area that Sonic can't get to, Or what's the Silver? Be able to use his telekinesis in a way that'll help him open up portals or unlock barriers or something like that. So those are like interesting ideas when it comes to like, which like I said, I'm on the fence about it. But if they did have it, cool. If they didn't have it, cool. There are plenty of other games that are open world where you only play with one player. But it was the interactions between the other characters that helped make it a badass game. And I like to keep to the platforming. Like, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Yes, you can run around and do all this cool stuff, but keep the platforming going on, because that's how Sonic was built. And there's nothing wrong with the platforming. There are ways you can, and again, one of the most successful games series that actually implemented this is the Mario series. Whether it was Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Mario, I think Galaxy 2, what was the one? Super Mario Sunshine. Even with the new one, like platforming, you can keep doing the platforming. You can keep doing the platforming aspects too. So just just do that. You know what I mean? I also, one of the things that I did like in the Sonic Utopia game is your ability to do like the drag outs. The drag out where you just sit there, you run, your legs is like spinning, but you're not going anywhere, you're building up speed. Like, that is cool. With the spin dash, do the same exact thing. Like, that'll be really cool too. And they can implement that on a lot of ways. Again, if it's for travel, it'll be really cool. If it's for combat, it'll be really cool. If it's for like exploration, it'll be really cool. And I would definitely like to see somebody like drag out and then run across the water. That'll be just absolutely awesome. Or what if you were so fast you was able to drag out on top of water and just like, that's a really good idea. I would like to see item boosts too, make it faster, make it invulnerable, the super, what was it, the ring magnet thing that was so cool, or you get the invincibility, or the thing to make you run extremely fast. So, like, keep those in there too, and I would like to see new ones too. Whether it helps you scale walls, adds power to your attacks, boost up your defense even a bit more. You just run on water. I don't know. Just throw in some new ones too, because they were awesome. They were awesome bid up in the original game, so it wouldn't be no reason whatsoever not to have those re-implemented in this one. Of course, you got to have the rings, got to collect the rings and everything, and of course, you definitely got to have supersonic. And as far as supersonic ability, I want to see two things going. Yes, I want to see you be able to run faster, but I also would like to see their ability to fly. Maybe not like fly like Superman and Man of Steel fly, but be able to fly around the board and stuff like that. Also, I would like to see like more boss battles and unique boss battles, not the ones you just keep dash attack, dash attack, dash attack, dash attack. No, I want to see them where you have to be a little bit more strategic, that's a bit more platforming and puzzle based strategies to it. So they could go with that too. Like maybe there's a boss area and you're not strong enough to go to that area because you have to beat that boss. To get through it. So, or you have to deal with enemy types that and that's one thing I really haven't seen too much in a lot of the Sonic games that I've played, at least, is not all, like the bad guys you fight. They're all pretty much the same. You just dash them once or twice and they're gone. It's like, no, introduce some new bad guys where you can't just dash them. Maybe you have to get behind them and dash them. Maybe you have to knock out their shield and then hit them, or you know what I'm saying. There's just a lot of ways you can go with the boss types and enemy types too. I would actually like to see a unique story, because we're going to have an open world and all of these characters. There's no reason not to have an interesting story, a good, compelling story. But I think they should take elements from Sonic Heroes, Sonic R, Sonic Generations, definitely the Sonic Utopia, and make a good game. But like I said, give us a good story. I don't want to see no story where it's chaos. He has to deal with chaos, or Eggman, or Robotnik, or Metal Sonic, or Shadow, or any of the evil guys. I want to see somebody new. Introduce a new bad guy, but make that bad guy interesting, make him badass, and make him have personality. If he ain't as fast as Sonic, he's got to have an ability that can deal with Sonic's speed. Or if he is as fast as Sonic, make it to where he has a slight edge. Make it to where his ability is a bit different, and a little bit more unique, so that way Sonic has to figure out a way around it. Kind of like the whole, you guess you could say, the Flash and Professor Zoom bid. Or if you want to go with that, Superman and Bizarro. But you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I would like to see a new bad guy. And I'm not sure if the bad guy should necessarily be stemmed down from any of the other ones, but maybe they should. Maybe they should be related to him in some kind of way. Eggman comes up with a new project that just goes completely batshit crazy. But I don't know. Those are just my ideas. I would like to see them do an open world Sonic game. An open world, not no sectional. Actual open world. And just have fun with it, Make it to where it's great, it's engaged, it's got a good story to tell. A lot of characters you can play with, a lot of exploration, races, different challenges, and unlockables. Because Sonic is a great character, but we haven't seen that. We haven't seen little tidbits and unlockables. Because there are a lot of characters in the mythos, and I've kept up with it a little bit, but I don't know who most of those characters are, where they come from, or what their background is. Although I do like the Bat. She was pretty cool. I can't remember her name right now. But anyways, guys, in the comment section below, you heard my thoughts on the open world Sonic the Hedgehog game. In the comment section below, let me know what you think based off what I said, and what you think open world Sonic the Hedgehog game should have of its own volition. As well as, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification button to get the best of what's going on here on the NarikChase channel. And you know what? I just came up with an idea. It'd be pretty cool if they actually had like an open world Mario / Sonic game. That way they could kind of like play with it and see if it works. And if if Sonic's side of the game kind of sucks, then you got Mario's to kind of help offset it. That's an interesting idea. But anyways, guys, sorry for talking. NarikChase signing out.